good morning, and happy Saturday. It's 10 a.m. I know, it's early. After a long week at work and doing a whole bunch of other activities, and we just want to rest, right? So, this is the first live that I do on Saturday morning, and we'll see how many people connect. I don't know if it's a good time, but I'm just kind of testing different type of schedules. So today is the first time that I test Saturday morning at 10, and I'll just see. I'm trying to just give a little more time for people to connect because sometimes it takes YouTube a few minutes, not a few minutes, but it takes YouTube a moment to let everyone know that we are live. So I'm just gonna give everybody a few minutes to connect. If this time, 10 a.m. on Saturday, is not a good time for you, let me know in the comment section, and I'll think about something else. I'll think about something else. So, to be honest, Saturday at 10, it's today I am at home. I don't feel very well. There was supposed to be a live last night, yesterday night at 7, and I was not able to do it because I wasn't feeling great yesterday. And today I'm still not 100%. I'm still not 100% this morning, but you know what? I am definitely a morning person. I feel my best in the morning. And even though I'm still feeling sick like I was yesterday, but just because it's the morning, I feel better, even though my health has not changed at all. But up here, it's different. I'm well rested and I think clearly, and I'm in a better mood and I have more energy. So to me, that tells me that I am definitely a morning person. Hello, welcome. Let me know where you are joining us from, if you don't mind. I live in Houston, Texas. That's where I'm connecting from, Houston, Texas. And talking about connection, I want to mention something very quickly. I'm not sure if it's my phone or if it's my connection or if it's the YouTube app that's bugging. But sometimes I get disconnected. And if that happens, I will come back. Okay? This live is 30-minute long, so until we've got 25 minutes more, and I will come back if I get disconnected. I don't know why it happens. Maybe it's the app, maybe it's my phone, maybe it's my connection. I'm not sure what's doing that, but I'll be back. All right? Hello, everyone. Hello, Michelle from Florida. Thank you, Just Goodness. Thank you so much. Welcome to our live. Today, we are talking about the skills that have saved us money. And that's what we're talking about today. What skills have helped us save us money? And what skills do we wish we had that we don't have? What skills do we want to have? Do we want to learn? Because we know that they will help us save money, and we wish we knew how to do that. So, on your channel today. Hey, welcome. Hi, Michelle. Well, welcome. You are welcome here. You're welcome. I'm so glad that it helps. I'm so glad that it helps. And you know, the thing about this channel, I was thinking about it yesterday, is that I'm glad that people watch my videos. I'm really glad that people watch my videos. I believe that there is a little bit of something in them that's useful. But the truth is that the the part that is the most useful about my videos is the comment section. The comment section on my video is just amazing. There's so much resources, there's so much knowledge there. People know so much. when it comes to how to make a meal stretch, how to manage a budget. The, the participation has just been amazing. The comment section is where it's at. Really. The comment section of my videos is where it's at. Exactly. Yes. Yes. And it just makes me feel like I'm not, I'm not the only one. Because when you don't talk about things, people don't know. And in your head, you think it's just you. You're the only one experiencing those things. But it just helps me realize that I'm not the only one. And out there are people who have gone through it and they have figured it out. They have figured it out and they're willing to help. So thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Watch the videos, of course, watch my videos, but definitely check the comment section because that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Check the comment section. All right, so let's begin. Today we talk about the skills that we wish, the skills that we have that have saved us, a lot of money. And that's a question that I'm asking you. What skill do you have that you are glad to have and you believe that that skill has helped you save money, that skills has helped you in some ways in your life and you're really glad that you have that skill. Let us know what the skill is, who taught you the skill, and when did you learn the skill? Did you learn it as a child? Did you learn it as an adult? Did you learn it as a teenager? If you don't mind sharing, let us know. Just goodness, she said. Today I'm mowing my own grass. I wish I was mechanical because the mower won't start now. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thankfully, I have someone to look at it for free. Yeah, that always helps. That always helps. Yeah, mowing your own grass. Yeah, that is definitely an important skill. It is expensive. I don't have a house. I do not have a house. But I have friends who have houses and they always talk about how expensive it is. How expensive it is, yes. And that is a very good skill to have. And under the Texas heat, I don't know where you live, just goodness. I don't know where you live. I don't know if you live in a place that's very hot. But here in Texas, it's so hot, having to be outside mowing the lawn. Yeah, it is a good skill to have. It is a good skill because it is very expensive. I hear it is very expensive. Michelle says the ability to cook from scratch that I taught myself raising my family. The ability to cook from scratch. Yes, that is a good skill to have. That I have a story. To me it's funny. To me it's a very funny story, but I don't know if you guys can relate. Maybe not. I wasn't born in the US. I was not raised in the US. I moved to the US when I was 19. And when I first moved here, I always wondered what people meant by cooking from scratch. And sometimes I would hear people talk about, well, she made this cake and she made it from scratch. Can you believe it? She made this pie, she cooked this and that, and she made it from scratch. Can you believe it? And it sounded like it was so extraordinary what the person had done. And in my head, a foreigner, I would always ask myself, like, what other ways are there to cook if it's not from scratch? I was born in Africa. I grew up in Africa. We don't eat frozen meals. We don't have frozen meals. We don't eat frozen meals. And I think even if we did, it would probably cost an arm and a leg. So everything is made from scratch, right? My mom, she goes to the back, she grabs the veggies and she cooks them. She bakes all the things from flour and eggs. We don't have pre-made meals. And now I understand. I've been here long enough, I've been here for a while. And I understand what it means now cooking from scratch because there's so much convenience at the grocery store and just about everywhere that cooking is no longer like a thing that people absolutely have to know. But I do believe, Michelle, that cooking from scratch is definitely something. It is. Growing your own vegetable garden, my dad taught me. Yes. Yes, growing vegetables. That's definitely a skill to have, especially in these days. Especially these days. And are you a green thumb? Is that what they say? Green thumb? Just goodness? Do you consider yourself a green thumb? She's from Florida. I do not. I don't think that. I think I can grow things. That there is a technique. There is a technique, and I can follow the technique and be able to grow things. But to go as far as saying that I'm super good at it, I don't think I am. It does, yes, it does to be able to grow. And so your dad had his own garden. Your dad had, because you said my dad taught me. He had his own garden. Yeah, it's definitely a very good skill to have, especially with all the pesticides that is on vegetables and fruits and all of that. I live in an apartment, and my apartment doesn't even have, I don't have a patio, I don't have a balcony. I'm not at the bottom floor, and I don't even have a window sill. Like my kitchen doesn't have a window. I don't have a window sill. I can't even grow. I feel like I can't grow like even just the simple basic herb. Like I would not have where to put it that would be close to the sun, right? This window, there's a window right here that I'm filming in front of, and it's just there is not a space for me to put something. But I wish I could grow something, and I wish I had at least a patio so I could have one of those vertical planters and grow something, but I do not. Gardening is a disappearing skill. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Now, when you watch YouTube, it feels like from watching YouTube that people are thinking about it a lot more. I think especially the millennials, us millennials, we are thinking about it a lot more. I don't know that Gen Z or the younger generation is thinking about it yet, but I feel like we're thinking about it more because we just realize how expensive everything is out there. Not only is it expensive, but the quality is not that great. So it is a skill. Gardening is a skill that's disappearing. I agree with you. But I hope that it's going to slowly return. I hope it's going to slowly return. I would definitely love to have a spot to grow a few things, things. So those of you who have vegetable gardens, or those of you who want to have vegetable gardens, what do you plan on growing? What do you want to grow there? Let me know. Let us know. I don't have one. I don't have one, and I think it's a very good thing to have. And if I had a vegetable garden, I would I would grow. The first thing I would grow is habanero pepper. That is the first thing I would grow, habanero pepper, because it is expensive, because I like spicy food. I love spicy food because I grew up eating habanero peppers, and it's easy to grow. It's easy to grow, and I would definitely grow habanero peppers. My dad really started gardening after I was grown, but yes, he had a big garden for at least 30 years. Wow. Shade of green, a light shade of green. Okay. Okay. So, all right. A big garden. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It needs to be back in the. I do think so that it's a skill that really definitely needs to be back, especially living in Florida. I don't know if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Florida produces a lot of things, and it's a good land to grow veggies. I don't know if that's true or not. Forgive me if it's not true, but when I think of Florida, to me, it's like the place to grow stuff. You know, that's what I don't know why. I don't know why, but that's what I think when I hear Florida. Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't let you grow veggies. You do have to. I think you do have to ask permission, and you do have to ask sometimes, especially if you're renting. You have to ask. You can try aquaponic for growing inside. Aquaponic. Let's see, what is aqua? I have my laptop right here, and I'm typing aquaponics. Aquaponics is a sustainable food production method combining aquaculture and hydroponics. Oh, I see. I see what it looks like. There's a picture. Aquaponics. Okay. I'll have to look more into it. I will have to look more into it. So this would be a way for me to grow vegetables inside, even without having. That looks interesting. This one, the picture I'm looking at, it looks like a fish tank. You know it? It would be a way for me to grow veggies inside my apartment, even though I don't have a balcony and I don't have land. Okay, I will look into it. I will look into it. Thank you, Just Goodness. I'll look into it. Is it expensive? Aquaponics. I'll have to see everything about it. I'll have to see everything about it. Yeah. So for me, just like Michelle, I believe it was Michelle who said cooking from scratch. For me, cooking from scratch is definitely a skill that I think is absolutely important. I think it is. And it's a skill that I am thankful that I have. You know, when I was a child, my mom, it was many of us. At some point, we were 18 in our household, living on one paycheck. My dad was the only one working, and it was 2 adults and 16 children in the house. We were not always like that, but my parents themselves have quite a lot of children. We are 14, so my parents themselves had quite a lot of children. But my mother had many daughters in the house. There were more girls than there were boys, and she did her very best to try to teach us, to try to teach everyone. Hello from Trinidad. Hi, hello. Welcome, welcome. So my mom did her very best. My mom did her very best to try to teach all of us how to cook. At the time, you know, my mom generation, it was more like, you know, the girls have to learn how to cook and not the boys. It's different now, and she thinks differently about it now because you know, I hear her talk to my nephews and talk about how they need to learn how to cook. But when I was growing up and when my mom was much younger, in the 90s, I was an 80s baby, you know. I am an 80s baby. It's about by the time we got in the 90s, I was what, 6 years old, 5, 6 years old. Back then, the focus was more on teaching the girls how to cook. I am from Africa. That is very culturally, it's a cultural thing. The focus was teaching the girls how to cook. And she did her very best considering that she was a young mom herself, and she had a ton of children to take care of that at the time were not all hers, but she got into a marriage and there was a whole bunch of kids. And so she did her very best. And we had this rule in the house. And the rule was once you're 6 years old, you have to start helping in the kitchen. So at 6, you would start helping with washing the veggies and, you know, washing the rice. By 8, you were cooking rice. You knew at least how to cook rice. So I grew up in a family where we learned how to cook. My mom taught us how to cook. She did not teach us how to bake. My mother was a great cook. She did not teach us how to bake like cakes and cookies and that kind of stuff because sweet food is not part of our culture. We don't really eat sweet that much. So that wasn't a thing that she taught us. But she taught us how to cook fish and chicken and all kinds of seafood. I grew up on an island, so seafood was it was a big part of our diet. And all of us, all the girls that my mom raised, we all know how to cook at different levels, of course. There are people who cook a lot better than others. I believe personally that I am at the bottom of that list. I do not like to cook. It's not my favorite thing to do. And I cook once a week and I eat the same meals every day. Not because I am unable to cook more meals, but simply because I don't like it. Still learning to eat beans and lentils and rice to make complete proteins. Yes. Yeah. So, good morning. Hello, everyone. I grew. Jesus. Okay. So, my mom, she did not teach us how to bake, but she taught us how to cook seafood. She taught us how to cook a whole lot of things. So, I do know how to cook a lot of things. Things like baking, like making bread, those are things that I learned as an adult here in the US. But definitely cooking and cooking from scratch, specifically, like Michelle said, cooking from scratch is a skill that I think is very important and that has saved me a ton of money. It has saved me a ton of money. It is very, practical, I think, to go to the store here in the US and buy a frozen meal. But I've also lived in other countries, like for a decade. I live in Mexico, and I lived in a part where it's not, frozen meals are not a thing. They're not a thing. And everyone cooked from scratch. They were not, they didn't have a lot of money, and living in Mexico felt like living back home. And I'm glad that I had that skill, the skill to cook things. Not only cook things, but being able to adapt to different type of foods. Because when I went to Mexico, when I lived in Mexico, I realized that a lot of the things that I was accustomed to eating, they were not there. So I had to take from what they eat, their cultural food, and either cook it the way they cook it or adapt it to the way I cook things from back home. And that's what I had to eat, and I definitely had to cook every day. So cooking is a very good skill to have. I agree. I agree. What other skills are great to have? What other skills? We talked about cooking from scratch. We talked about gardening, being able to have a garden. Even if we are a very light green thumb, but having a garden is great. Oh, also being able to mow your own lawn, that's a skill that saves a lot of money. Being mechanical, being able to fix things, definitely around the house. Definitely around the house. Budgeting money, yes, budgeting money is also an important skill to have. It is. And I've never, I don't recall ever taking a budgeting class or a budgeting class. Yeah, when I was in school. It's not something that was taught. It's not something that was taught. And growing up, I remember my mom saying, "No, we can't buy that. It's too expensive. I don't have money for that. No." Those are the things that I remember my mother saying, but I don't remember ever sitting down with her or my dad and sitting down with them and them explaining to us what our financial situation was, and or even saying we cannot buy that because, and explaining the why. I just remember being told, no, we can't afford that, no, we are not buying that, no, that's a waste of money. But I didn't understand, or I wasn't taught like the why. And I think that's part of budgeting. I think that's part of budgeting. I think as children, I don't know if that's your case also. Let me know if that's your case. Um, if you grew up hearing your parents say, no, that's too expensive, we can't do that. But did they say why? Did they tell you why we, as a family could not afford it? And I think learning to budget money is definitely part of understanding the why, understanding how much we have, and why we can't buy that. Because if we don't, when we don't understand why, especially as a teenager, like sometimes I was a bit resentful to my parents because they just said no. And to me, it's like, I saw your wallet. I know there's money in it. So why are you telling me no, right? I didn't understand the bigger picture. And as teenagers, I don't know, we're just resentful about everything. I don't know why. We become so picky and so difficult. So I was just resentful. But now, as an adult, I had to learn all the meaning of budgeting and all the things that are involved in budgeting. And now I understand that it's not because you see money in the wallet that there is money to buy whatever we want. It was not really taught in depth at all. Yeah. Pressure canning food. Yes, I see a lot of those videos on YouTube, and I think it's a great idea. I don't know how to do that. It is a skill. Pressure canning is a skill I wish I had. Hello, Miss Reynolds. Hello. Pressure canning is a skill I wish I had, but yeah, I think it's important. My mom tried to, but I was stubborn. I had to learn the hard way, but I have to figure it out now, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the sad thing, right? We all have to learn the hard way. We all had to learn the hard way. My mom tried so much to teach us so many things because she was so great at keeping a home. She grew up with a mother who, I mean, when her mother was raising her, a woman did not work. A woman stayed at home. And so my grandmother taught her a lot of the things that is needed to know, is needed when you have a home. And my mom was so great. She knew how to sew, she knew how to cook, she knew how to sew, she knew how to fix basic things around the house. She just knew so much. She knew how to do hair. She just knew so much. She could go to the wood and come back with leaves and treat our skin issues and a toothache and just a fever. We had malaria every summer. Like, we never went to the doctor for malaria because my mom knew how to treat that. She knew so much. And being in a household with so many children, like I was saying earlier, if you're joining us now, it was 18 of us, most of us girls. She tried so much to teach us how to sew, how to cook, how to make a difference between a poisonous leaf and a good one you can eat, one you can treat illnesses with. But we just resented her. We resented her all the way through. It's like, no, mom, we're gonna be modern people and we're just gonna go to the hospital. We're gonna take antibiotics. We don't need those leaves. That was the attitude that unfortunately we had, and that I regret a lot. I regret a lot because she was so willing and she tried so hard to teach us a lot of things. YouTube can teach you how to pressure can. Yes, definitely. Yes. And when I'm ready to learn how to pressure can, I will check YouTube. I am really the art of cheap living learning the art of cheap living at age 57, saving everything to be able to live in retirement. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us, we have to learn it the hard way. We have to learn it when we're already adult, and now we're facing our own bills, right? We're facing our own bills, and we're facing the situation we're in, and it's like, okay, I guess I gotta learn that stuff now for my own good. Yes, I have to say. Yes, my mom. I had a great mom. I have a great mom. She's still living. She's still living. And I have a great mom. She tried. She tried so hard. You know, she tried so hard. Yes. So some of my sisters know how to, especially when it comes to cooking, cleaning, you know, putting stuff together to be able to clean, not using harsh chemicals. Some of my sisters are really good at it. They're really good at it, and I am now learning a little bit. But that's a revelation that I had in my 30s. You know, it's in my 30s that I started thinking, you know what? I need to learn that stuff. I need to learn that stuff. So I'm trying to learn now. Doing hair, doing my own hair. We never went to the salon as a kid. We never went to the salon as a kid because my mom knew how to do our hair, and she did every Sunday. She did our hair. And even if she wasn't available, we always had a cousin, a neighbor who was willing to do our hair for free, because it wasn't worth charging for it. Like everybody knows how to do it. But ask me why, I don't know how to do hair. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And I remember growing up and telling my mom, saying, you know, I don't need to learn because I'll just go to the salon and pay for it. And I kind of I remember her just kind of looking at me and saying, you know, I wish in your life you have that kind of money. I only wish you to have that kind of money when you grow up. And that was always her answer. It was always my mom's answer. And yeah, no, I didn't grow up to have that kind of money to go to the salon every week and have my hair done. So instead, I keep my hair like this. This is because I don't know how to do my own hair. I moved away and lived in Mexico where very few people have hair like mine, and nobody knew how to do my hair, and I just had to shave. So I've had this like that for years. So these are things that, you know, you have to learn the hard way, that I had to learn the hard way, and it didn't dawn on me until I was 28 moving to Mexico, and I was like, man, there are places where this hair is not, if you don't know how to do it yourself, you're not in a good position. The old ways are the best ways, yes. The Depression era videos, you know, I keep hearing about it in the comment section. The Depression era videos, I'm gonna have to look them up. I'm gonna have to look them up and see if there is anything from that period of time that I can apply today. I'm sure there is quite a lot, I'm sure. Same on the hair. My neighbors did my hair each week. When they got married and left home, my mom took me to get my hair cut. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? So my mom, she fought me all my childhood. She fought me all my childhood, you know. It's like, you got to get your hair done. You got to get your hair done. You got to learn how to do, you got to learn how to do your hair. And I was so stubborn. I was so stubborn. Like, nah, I'm not learning how to do that. No. Why? You know, I was like, why? There was so much emphasis on going to school, especially for us girls. It was a time. It was a time where things were. It was a turning point. It was a turning point in the country. It was a turning point in the culture, where putting girls in school had become the thing. And I was, I guess, so much into it. Like, no, I'm gonna go to school. I will not be that person. You know, I'm gonna get a degree and I'm gonna go to school. I do not need to learn how to do hair. And that has come around, like, it's just to bite me. Just to bite me. Because now I believe that no matter how great your mind is, and no matter how much money you make, there are just basic skills that are important to know. If you have a car, I think it's important to know basic mechanics, but really the bare minimum at least. And if you have hair, then I think it's important to know the basic things. And if you eat, it's important to know how to boil an egg, at least make some rice, you know? But that was not my mentality back there. The joke is on me now. Yeah. My daughter has long curly hair like I did, and we're learning together. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, you know. Thank God for YouTube. Yes. I love YouTube. It's such a great invention. I love YouTube. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn on YouTube. Wigs, there are always wigs. Yes, there are always wigs. But you know what? I feel like I look bad in a wig. I don't know why. I don't like me in the wig. I do not like me in a wig, so I don't. I don't wear wigs. I do not like me in the wig. I don't know. I don't. That's why. That's why. Sure. We learn as we live. Yes, correct. We do. We do. We learn as we live. We don't always have to. We don't have to. It's we can learn from older ones if we would just listen. If we would just listen for once, we can learn from the older ones and their experience and do better, not make the same mistakes, but no, but no. Now I learn from YouTube. Now I learn from YouTube. My mom does not live with me. She lives far, far, far away. It's 2 oceans away. My mother is 2 oceans away, and she's not always available. But thankfully, YouTube is there to teach me. Too hot. Wigs are too hot. Yeah, I'm sure. With the Texas heat, I'm sure it's hot in there. I'm sure wigs are hot. And yeah. Okay, so this is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for everyone who participated. Thank you so much for connecting. And if this time on Saturday works great for you, let me know. And we'll try next week again on Saturday. Just let me know. What area of Texas are you in? Houston. Dallas. Hello. Is that Dallas? DFW. I think it's Dallas. Yes, it's Dallas Fort Worth. Yes. Hi. I live in Houston. I live in Houston, Texas. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Nice to have met you. Thank you. Just subscribe. Thank you. Have a blessed week. Thank you. You too. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you. I do connect. I do connect every week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 10. That's Houston time, CDT. Right. New subbing. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Trinidadian food. Look into Trinidadian food. You would like it. I'm sure I would. I will. The great thing about Houston, there's so many different restaurants here. I'll find one and I'll try, and then I'll look it up on the internet first and see what kind of food I can enjoy. Okay. Goodbye. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.